Japan's Prime Minister Khan, in the meantime, saying dangers are increasing for radiation leaks. Our next guest, though, says the crisis in Japan is not another Chernobyl. Lehr is with us. He is the science director at the Chicago-based Heartland Institute. He has testified before Congress more than 36 times. He has consulted for nearly every agency of the federal government. He is the author or co-author of 30 books, including the Encyclopedia of Nuclear Power and Nuclear Energy, and that is slated to be released this spring. Jay is joining us now on the phone from Columbus, Ohio. Jay, I want to ask you, do you want to rephrase that? You told us last evening, before some of this news was out there, that what we are seeing in Japan right now is not another Chernobyl. Do you still stand by that statement?
Absolutely. I think having heard a lot of what was said about putting people into wind and solar and other forms of energy is quite incorrect. When all is done here in Japan, even the worst case scenarios, even if a containment structure was to blow up, even if a cloud of radiation moved away from the area, as the weeks and months go by, we'll see that the damage to human health and life will be minimal, if at all, and that plants that were built even 40 years ago by brilliant Japanese engineers under the situation never envisioned, a 9.0 Richter scale earthquake and tsunamis that put out the power for their cooling fluids, will still turn out not to be the disaster that so many people are concerned of.
Jay, I want to pick up one of the points that you just mentioned about how much exposure it takes to harm a human body. You just mentioned that this is obviously your area of expertise and not mine, but reading through some research, it says that levels are between 30 and 400 millisieverts per hour. 400 equals 40 rems. 25 rems alone causes temporary sterility in men. And these levels are now out there near this plant. But you're still saying we're not going to look back on this and consider it a nuclear disaster?
We'll consider it a disaster because we rank our disasters from a level of 1 to 7, and 1 to 3 are incidents, 4 to 7 are considered disasters. Chernobyl was a 7, worst case, a plant built without a containment building, poorly managed, poorly designed. It did totally explode, but the long-term results after the worst case were radiation poisoning only very near the plant, creating 1,000 cases of leukemia. 998 were cured. Everyone said the clouds of radiation were going to cause thousands, tens of thousands of deaths and cancer well beyond the Chernobyl plant. That never happened. The radiation dispersed in the air, and populations ended up not having their health impaired.